The Association of Professional Women Engineers in Nigeria, APWEN, is set to eliminate the underrepresentation of women in engineering by sensitizing the public right from school to recognize the relevance of engineering in the socio-economic development of the country. Speaking during the inauguration of APWEN's 17th president, the former governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Mimiko, encouraged more women to develop themselves in the engineering sector. The newly elected president of APWEN, Dr. Elizabeth Eterigho, says some programs are in place to build the capacity of the young females to help them develop employability skills and entrepreneurial skills.
And joining us now to discuss the relevance of engineering in the economic development of Nigeria is the president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers, Dr. Elizabeth Eterigho. Good to have you join us on the program. So,
thank you for having me.
Yes, let me quickly start by asking, it's one thing to actually encourage women to the engineering sector, but it's also another thing if they don't have a natural aptitude. Won't your efforts be futile at the end of the day if those women don't have the aptitude for engineering?
Oh, not at all. What happened is that you need to build them up, and that is what we are out doing. One thing with the girl child particularly is that they are very, very inquisitive. They want to know. So if you let a child to know that these things are what you can do, just tell them they love to go to try it out, and you see them coming out to do that. I think the issue why we are where we are today is because the information is not really getting across to them.
Well, but a lot of females, I wouldn't just say females, a lot of people are afraid of the sciences, which are subjects you need to study in school before you can do engineering. So how do you encourage, more girls, to go to the sciences?
Okay, we know that girls, most of the time, they get scared when you talk about mathematics. So they don't want to hear it. And you do mathematics, you can't do physics. And you can't even do chemistry. And with those courses, you can't become an engineer. So what we try to do is to have programs now that we want to introduce. STEM is very important. So we want to introduce a program tag Fun STEM. That is teaching STEM, in a funny way, making them in a conducive environment.
Sorry, just for the purposes of our viewers who do not understand what STEM is, can you just specify exactly what you're talking about?
Yeah, STEM is science, and technology, mathematics, and engineering and mathematics. That's what STEM is all about. And STEM is the basis for any development in any nation because it has to do with engineering. What we intend to do is to make sure that when you are teaching these subjects, you don't teach them in an abstract form. The problem we have is that you teach the children theory, and so they don't know the practicality about it. They don't have the sense. They cannot conceptualize what you're talking about. But when you're teaching them and you have something in your front to demonstrate what it's all about, you see the children tend to listen very well. And then because there's a program going on, something is going on in their brain, they are focused on what you're doing and they want to see themselves doing it. So by so doing, you arouse their curiosity. They want to try their hands on it. And then you let them know that you can do these things. So it's not as abstract as we are thinking. But we discovered that most schools in Nigeria are teaching, even to university levels, our teachings are mostly theoretical. So this program, we make this teaching of STEM subjects as practical as possible.
And it sounds like quite an amazing program. It's one thing to lure the girl child in and to get them interested in these programs, but how do they keep them there? So my question to you, as someone who's worked in the industry, in a male-dominated industry, obviously this is why APWEN has been set up to encourage and support the females within the engineering sector. What has your experience been like within a male-dominated industry? The challenges and also the, I guess, the benefits. There has to be some benefits of being just a small cluster of women, but there has to be quite a few challenges that you have gone through. How can you encourage girls to go through those challenges and actually continue on to be engineers as a full-time profession?
Thank you very much for that. From my own experience, the challenge, right, is a solution to me. Because the challenge is that if the male can do it, I should see myself doing it. When we're in school, there was no special lecturer or teacher that was assigned to me. We're all in the same class with the male and the female. So we're taught the same way. And you discover some of us come out better than the males. So we tell them, and then we have some program called role models. We go to these children and show them role models. These are people who have gone through. And if they can do it, you can. So we think of that I can do it mentality. Let them see that they can do these things. And you see, by so doing, they're encouraged. There's a program actually that I did in Niger State, and that has to do with, one thing is, like you said, is to bring them to the school. Another issue is to retain them in that school. And what you do is to have, advocacy, using the rulers, maybe from their village health. You let them know the importance of education, particularly for a girl child. There's a popular saying that says, when you train a girl, you train a whole nation. But when you train a male, it's just an individual. Because this girl will pass it on to the next generation.
Well, Dr. Elizabeth Eterigho, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.